Good evening, everybody. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Please be seated. While you do so, how about another round of applause for Elizabeth Bain, Natalie Bashner, Dahlia Bernstein, Donica Brown, Amelia Charno, Sydney Hoffman, Hae Kyung Lee, Jacob Malcolm, Nicole Manasari, Cleopatra Marianthopoulos, Gwendolyn Sarapata, Sophia Scheibler, Sydney Silverman, William Trapp, Kelsey Weisbird, Bart Zamora, and Yao Zhang for a truly beautiful, beautiful rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner. Additionally, I'd like to thank Mr. John Spezio, Mr. Tony Pinelli, Ms. Carol Garofalo, Mr. Shane Helfner, and Mr. Mark Brenner, and the members of the Schreiber High School Music Program, about 150 strong this evening, entertaining us with music, and for the processional, a round of applause for all of them as well. Good evening, Dr. Mooney, members of the Board of Education, faculty and staff from around the district, parents, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2017. I thought I would start today by sharing something personal. We're an intimate crowd. You see, 30 years ago, today, I graduated high school. Today, June 22nd, 1987. I appreciate the small applause. And I have to admit, as this day has approached, I've been feeling a little nostalgic. In the spirit of honesty and truthfulness, I can't say I remember a lot of what was said to me on the day of my high school graduation. But I have confidence that won't be the same for you. In fact, before we begin, I suggest we all set an alarm on our phones for 30 years from now and meet here and discuss how moving and meaningful this ceremony was. You see, graduations, all of them, at every level, are a time for people to offer graduates advice. Perhaps the most famous piece of graduation advice was offered to Dustin Hoffman in the 1967 movie The Graduate, when he was given only one word of advice: plastics. The advice giver for me when I graduated high school was my dad. My dad is not one for long stories. He's more of a one-sentence advice provider. Things like, a tree that doesn't bend breaks. I admit I've never looked up or tested the theory. I just always understood it was about remaining flexible, especially when the winds blow hardest. Another one of his favorite pieces of advice was, one man's ceiling is another man's floor. I admit I've thought about that one a lot over the years and continue to consider it today. My father grew up in Brooklyn in an apartment building where quite literally his ceiling was someone else's floor. It's a fascinating concept that one object can represent such different purposes for two different people. Like two sides of the same coin, but larger. A ceiling, after all, is very different from a floor. One provides shelter, the other keeps us grounded. Thinking of the differences between ceilings and floors in that way, by placing ourselves between them, makes it easier to understand how far apart from each other we sometimes feel. But if we alter our perspectives and situate ourselves so the ceiling and floor is between us and the person above or below us, I think it's easier to imagine that the space between us isn't really as large as we think. You see, I think we live in a time where too many people look for too many reasons to drive us further apart from one another with anger, hostility, mistrust, and dishonesty. When what we really need are more people to illustrate an understanding that maybe, just maybe, what separates us is not a chasm of differences, but instead about 6 inches, roughly the difference between a ceiling and a floor. Graduates, I didn't come here today offering advice. I come instead asking for your help. I believe that you've demonstrated what our world needs more of: optimism, tolerance, listening, acceptance, creativity, commitment, and a belief that you can make a difference. And when we meet here 30 years from now, I look forward to hearing all about how you've changed the world. Until then, you'll know where to find me. Congratulations, the class of 2017. Now it is with great pleasure that I introduce the President of the Board of Education, Mrs. Karen Sloan.
Good evening. On behalf of the Port Washington Board of Education, I would like to welcome and congratulate Schreiber's graduating class of 2017 and your families. This is the week of ceremonies and celebrations for our children in Port Washington. The board has joined Dr. Mooney in attending the many events all over town. They were for the children from pre-K all the way to our senior class, and there was one important thing in common: a lot of people staring through their phones for pictures. I get that. We all want to capture the moment. But how about for just a second, we just put down our phones and cameras and appreciate the moment. Take in this entire group of young men and women, the best and the brightest, and truly our greatest hope for the future. We, as representatives of our entire school district, couldn't be prouder. Before I send you on your way, I would like to just share a few brief thoughts for you to consider as you head out into your future. Kindness matters. No matter where you go or what you do, this will always hold true. Kindness matters. What goes around really does come around, and how you treat others will speak louder about who you are than anything else. Always maintain your integrity and be true to yourself. You are what you do, not just what you say you will do. Your beliefs don't make you a better person, your behavior does. So find yourself and be yourself. Be in the moment. When everyone is constantly talking about staying connected, it might seem impossible to turn it all off, but do it. Even if you can only do it every now and again, do it. Pick your head up and look around at all that's happening that isn't on a screen. Listen to noises that have no volume control, or take in the silence. Whatever it is that's going on out there will still be going on when you turn it back on. And finally, be happy. With all of the advice you will get today and in the coming days and years ahead, you might be too focused on what it is you want to do when you grow up or where you want to go and forget that one. But you gotta be happy. It's the single most important thing you have to do, because without that, the rest won't really matter anyway. And now, graduates of 2017, go out into the world and make a difference. Go and continue to make us proud.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sloan. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the Assistant Principal for the Class of 2017, Mr. Craig Weiss.
I love you all. Greetings, Dr. Mooney, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Pernick, faculty and staff, parents, friends, Ms. Bonnie Lane, and of course, the graduating class of 2017. Here we are, together again for the last time. That's right, it's the last time you'll ever have to listen to me talk. No, not that I'm so sure you were actually listening to me any of those other times anyway. And so, in just a few short hours, the sun will set behind us on this glorious day. This sunset, like many others in Port Washington, will be beautiful. Beautiful beyond compare, as sunsets in Port Washington often are. The beauty of this town, and its harbor, and its sunsets may even be one of the reasons your family decided to move here in the first place. Sunsets with their brilliant hues of pink and orange, yellow, purple, and gold open our hearts and our minds to the natural beauty of the world around us. But the truth is, they also obscure for us what is already there, the blue and the white. The blue of the sky and the white of the clouds, they are always there, ever present, as constant as the northern star. Sunsets, too, are often seen as an ending, the end of the day and the transition into night. But this, too, is not right. And it's quite funny if you think about it. The sun doesn't set. It never really embarks on a long journey through the river of night just to emerge as sunrise the following morning. The sun never moves at all. It's us. It's the earth that's doing the moving. We move the sun. And so while today may seem like the brilliant ending to a glorious 4 years together, and we can certainly look back and weave our memories together into a continuous story of our high school experience, the reality is that this is just a point, a moment in the course of our journey. It's easy, too, to get caught up in the colors and in the pomp and in the circumstance of the day. We are certainly at a point in our path, to be sure, and looking back, that point seems to have been predetermined. We would certainly have gotten here, we tell ourselves. When we look back, we can see the path so clearly. It's right there, laid out behind us, on display for us to look at and admire. We've all made it to this point, and as we look back, all the points along the trail seem to have been inevitably leading us to this point right here today. But now, look forward. Look at the path ahead. It's not there, is it? We may think it's there. We may have an idea of what we hope it will look like, but really, it's not there. Not at all. Only by looking forward on our journey to come can we clearly have perspective on where we've been. Each of you has taken a different path to get here today. Each of you has made different mistakes and learned different lessons. Each of you has had different failures and experienced different successes. And at each twist and turn along our individual paths, there are moments when we made choices. Some of those choices were good and moved us forward, while others may have led us to a detour or even set us back in our journey. And so it will be going forward. At each and every moment in our lives, we make choices. When the alarm went off each morning, we chose to get out of bed or not. When the bus arrived, we chose to get on it, or we didn't. When we received an assignment in math, we chose to complete it, or not. We may have even chosen to complete it well, or chosen to just get through it. And when we had a disagreement with a family member, or a friend, or a classmate, we got to choose how to respond to that as well. Each and every moment we choose, And each of those choices creates a bend or a twist or a turn on the path that moves us forward in our journey. My hope for you, the graduating class of 2017, is that Schreiber has prepared you to make those choices wisely, that you have learned the lessons taught by your teachers, by your parents, and by life. It is our choices that move us along in our journey. It is our choices that define who we are, and it is our choices that determine our path. And now, as we inch ever closer to sunset on this day, and the sunset on our 4 years together at Schreiber, remember that while all of the brilliant colors and all the fanfare in our lives may distract us on our journey and obscure our vision of ourselves and our future, the truth is that there is one constant, one consistent thread in all of our lives, and it is this: the blue and the white. The blue of the sky and the white of the clouds that always exist behind a brilliant sunset, and underneath it all, the blue and the white of Schreiber that will always be there for all of us. The time has come for me to say goodbye. Our journey together has come to an end, class of 2017. Thank you, parents, families, and friends, for entrusting your children to us, for allowing us to be a part of their lives and allowing us to watch them grow into the absolutely incredible young men and women that they have become. This has been an incredible 4 years. We've become like family as we've journeyed together. We've laughed, we've cheered, and we've celebrated together. And we've licked our wounds, and sometimes we've even cried together. And in so many ways, I've learned so much from each of you, as I hope you've learned from me. I will miss you, each of you and all of you. You are welcome back at any time to visit, but our time together is over. Schreiber has been your home, but you've outgrown it now, and the time has come for you to move on. I do truly love all of you. Even those of you, you know who you are. You might be sitting, right? Let's just say you've tested my love and my patience over the past 4 years. All of you will be in my heart with me forever. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say goodnight until it be morrow. Good luck, class of 17. May your sunsets always be brilliant, and may the blue and white underneath always be your guide. Thank you.
One more time for Mr. Craig Weiss. It's now my pleasure to introduce our student speaker for the class of 2017. Please join me in welcoming Dexter Jarek.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? This is pretty cool. All right. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Mooney and administrators, Dr. Pernick, Mr. Weiss, faculty, family, and friends. I'm truly honored to be here today on behalf of the Paul D. Schreiber class of 2017. To my fellow graduates, I'd like to say congratulations. We made it. Back in September, if you'd asked any senior if they were more excited about graduation or prom, 99% of the answers would be prom. And while I don't necessarily disagree, I do think graduation deserves a little more credit. After all, today's the day we join together to celebrate the end of a special chapter in all of our lives. Today's the day we honor years of hard work and incredible achievement. And more importantly, today's the day we get into robes and funny hats and listen for our names to be called as we anxiously wait to take hundreds of pictures and dump them all on Facebook for nobody to look at. But before we get to the photo shoots and the cigars, I'd like to take you back to freshman year. You see, I was very different then than I am now. I used to walk really fast on my classes, and I went to Key Club every week, and I actually read the summer reading book. You know, but typical freshman stuff. I never heard of senior scav. I didn't know what a Montfort was, and I thought the word docks just meant anything you could, like, tie your boat to. But I was wrong. And the thing is, I was kind of shy and kind of quiet and kind of chubby. I was uncomfortable with myself and uncomfortable around other kids, and I wasn't too sure how this whole high school thing was going to turn out. But can you really blame me? I mean, I just come from middle school where everyone's in at least one awkward stage or another. Nobody's that far ahead of anyone else on the maturity scale from 6th to 8th grade. But high school, on the other hand, is completely different. High school is a place that one day someone decided they would fill with exactly half children and half full-grown adults and let them figure it out amongst themselves. I, being one of those children, wasn't really ready for it. So on the first day of school freshman year, I had gym class, 3rd period. And for those of you who don't know, on the first day of gym every year, you kind of just sit around with your friends and talk and listen to gym teachers give out lockers and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, hang out with your friends. But the thing was, I didn't have any friends in my gym class that year, so I was sitting all alone. I was just kind of looking around at everyone else and looking at the door, praying that someone I knew would walk in and come sit next to me. And it took a while, and someone did come and sit next to me, but he was definitely not someone I knew. He was, based on my 9th grade memory, about 13 feet tall. He had a full beard and keys hanging out of his pocket and a giant tattoo on his forearm. If you Googled scary senior, the top result would just be a picture of him smiling at you. I was ready to go back to my brand new gym locker and change my shorts. I was so terrified. So needless to say, I was relieved when I figured out that gym classes were split between upper and lower classmen. And at that moment, if you had told me that I'd be giving the graduation speech in a few years to a bunch of seniors and their parents, I'd probably just pop my headphones in and pretend I couldn't hear you because, well, that's what I do. When I would walk into the cafeteria, instead of thinking about what I wanted to eat that day, I used to be thinking things like, she goes to school here? I didn't even think girls really look like that. And I'm pretty sure he didn't have that beard when I saw him in the hallway 2 periods ago. But, like all of us, as I grew from that strange freshman version of myself into a sophomore, from a sophomore to a junior, things began to change. Got a little skinnier, a little taller. Thank you, puberty. I became more comfortable around my teachers and my classmates. I became friends with kids who were older than me and kids who were younger than me. Even that kid from gym class, who turned out to be a really great guy, and we were pretty friendly. Fast forward a little bit more, and I'm here with all of you, nervous but excited to be graduating a new and improved version of myself. But today isn't really about me, it's about us. We all have those stories. We all have times when we felt uncomfortable or embarrassed. We all used to be awkward little fish in this big, scary pond. But now we're bigger, better-looking fish, who really like their pond or are a little afraid to leave it behind. And as silly as that may sound, I think that's really what today's all about. Whether we realize it or not, Schreiber's had a huge impact on who we are and where we're going. Everyone who's going to walk across this stage today will do so a very different person than the one who walked through those doors 4 years ago. And especially in my case, that's worth celebrating. You're probably thinking, yeah, that's great, but now we're graduating and we're back to being those tiny little fish again. And you have a point, because we're going to be little fish for the rest of our lives. There's never going to be another place where we know who drives every car in the parking lot. There's never going to be another place where we recognize every single face in the hallway. And there's never going to be another place where everybody knows our names. As we go off to new schools, make new friends, and try to find our place in a new world, at times we're going to feel lost. The good news is, as freshly minted Schreiber graduates, we've been through it before and lived to tell the story. Think of all those losing football seasons, even though we were supposed to be good that year. Or those cold winter mornings when you somehow dragged yourself out of bed, just to remember it was Tuesday, not Thursday. Or all those times you saw somebody you kind of knew in the hallway but weren't really sure if you should say hello or not. It's brutal, right? Well, it's those moments that taught us how to make it in life more than any class or textbook ever could. The problem is, we never appreciated those awful mornings or awkward hellos. We rushed through the week to get to the weekend. We were too worried about getting to a destination that doesn't exist, instead of stopping and appreciating the road we were all on. So today, while we still can, let's take the time to remember all this time we've missed. Let's remember the tests we aced and the ones we failed, the relationships we had and the breakups that followed. Let's remember the off periods with nothing to do, the texts we wish we could get back, and the days we wasted thinking about tomorrow. Because it's the tiny, meaningless, everyday things that have shaped us. So before we worry about who we're going to be, let's first appreciate who we are right now, because those people are pretty amazing. I wish I could stand up here and guarantee our futures. I wish I could tell you that here today are future senators, movie stars, entrepreneurs, and Nobel Prize winners, but the truth is I can't. I don't really know where I'm eating after this, let alone what I'm going to do with my life. But what I do know is that I've never been among a more capable, driven, and confident group of kids. And I don't doubt for a minute that each and every one of us will be truly, genuinely, and sincerely happy. If growing up with all of you has proven to me one thing, it's that we're going to be just fine. That big blue world is waiting for us, and it's up to us to make the most of it. So let's enjoy that ride. I'm not going to lie, this is a bittersweet moment for me. Schreiber's left a mark on me like a tattoo artist leaves a mark on a college kid at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I couldn't be more proud of it. In this place, we've made friendships that will last a lifetime and memories that we'll never forget. I've become a person I never dreamed I could be, and it's because of you guys that I'm able to say that. And the amazing thing is, this is just the beginning. I know it sounds corny because it is, but I don't think there's really a finish line to all this. There's no place we'll get to someday where we finally realize we've made it. I mean, in another 4 years, we'll be in a different place, with a new family of people and a new set of memories, ready to do it all over again. And that's a beautiful thing, because there will always be a tomorrow. We just can't forget to live for today. After all, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2017.
How about another round of applause for Dexter Jarek? It appears that there are a few graduates who like Dexter. That's nice. That's really nice. To present the Bogart Scholarship, please welcome Board of Education trustee Emily Bays.
Good evening. Welcome to family, friends, and to the graduating class of 2017. Congratulations to all of you. I, along with Alan Baer and Christine Aldoni, have served as members of this year's Bogart Scholarship Committee. This scholarship is named in honor of Dr. Elbert H. Bogart, a Port Washington physician who generously left a large sum of money to the school district upon his death many, many years ago. The Bogart Scholarship is awarded annually by the Board of Education to a member of the graduating class who has excelled academically and has been an outstanding leader in the school and in the community. We began with an impressive slate of candidates. Being in the top 5% of their class, they have excelled academically in all areas of the curriculum. And if their academic achievements were not remarkable enough, they have all served the community in many different ways, each striving to make a difference in society. They should all be commended. The student being honored today exemplifies academic excellence. Not only has the student taken every challenging class possible, receiving nothing less than an A, this student has mastered 2 languages, art, music, while simultaneously excelling in math and science. This student not only participated in a myriad of extracurricular activities within the school and throughout the community, but in almost every organization, the student has had a leadership role. This student was involved in honor societies, theater, and music recitals. And this student is an all-state, all-federation, all-county varsity captain. We have no doubt that this student will continue to make Port Washington proud. Please join me in congratulating the 2017 recipient of the Bogart Scholarship, Maria Kogan.
Congratulations, Maria. Please join me in welcoming our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Kathleen Mooney.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I would just like to take one moment to thank our grounds crew and our custodial staff for their hard work. Really, this entire week, they were at all of our schools setting up. They were here this morning, and they've made this possible for all of us this afternoon. They did a fantastic job, so let's give them a round of applause. Many thanks to the members of the Board of Ed, Ms. Callahan, Ms. Fennick, Dr. Westervelt, Dr. Pernick, Dr. Fitzgerald, Ms. Torres, Mr. Miller, Senior Assistant Principal, Mr. Weiss, teachers, school staff, family and friends of the graduates, and the students of the Schreiber Graduating Class of 2017 for the honor and privilege of speaking with you this evening. To the class of 2017 and your families, congratulations. In just a few minutes, you will be the proud graduates of a public school education from one of the finest educational systems in our country. Although you may have had different experiences within our schools, you are leaving us with a high-quality education from a community that values its schools and is committed to its children. We are very proud of you. You have distinguished yourselves as a class with outstanding academic accomplishments. You can boast a National Merit Scholarship winner, 6 National Merit finalists, 1 National Hispanic Scholar, 6 Regeneron Scholars, in addition to numerous local and state science, social science and math awards, music, art, and athletic awards and achievements. Perhaps most impressive and appreciated by your parents is that collectively as a class, you have been awarded, get ready, approximately $2 million in scholarships to universities and colleges across the country. Many of you have also been bestowed scholarship awards through the incredible generosity of our school district and community organizations. Well done. For some of you, you will be continuing a tradition of attending college long established in your families. But for others, you will be the first person in your family to attend college. While our public education system is by no means perfect, we are always striving to achieve equity through excellence. You are the role models for students in other districts to emulate. Whatever obstacles and challenges you may have encountered, you clearly showed strength, determination, and courage to be here today. I am also quite certain the love and support from your families had a great deal to do with it as well. There is one distinction that you helped achieve for Schreiber High School that I have not yet mentioned. Consecutively, for the past 2 years, Schreiber has been designated a No Place for Hate school by the Anti-Defamation League. We are only one of a handful of schools on Long Island to have earned this distinction. To me, it speaks volumes about what we value as a community of learners and how we treat each other. You are on the cusp of an important milestone in your life. It is very exciting to share this moment with you and your families. You are also exiting public education at a historical moment in time for our nation's public schools. You have had the unique opportunity to have experienced a public school education that exemplifies what our public schools were designed to provide: a dynamic education with a diverse student population, all waiting to walk across this stage to receive the culmination of your efforts, your high school diploma. Come this fall, you will find yourselves in new places with new people who also had a public school education, but it may not have been exactly the same as yours. Not every school offers the rich curriculum that we provide or successfully manages the delicate balance between diversity and unity the way we do. This places you in the perfect position to serve as role models and leaders to others as they must learn to navigate this new reality. What you have learned from your families, from your teachers and administrators, and from community service and interacting with community members will serve you well in your future endeavors. Although there are varying analytics regarding the number of people the average American will meet in his or her lifetime, most seem to settle somewhere between 10,000 and 50,000. While this is quite a range, I'm pretty sure the analysis did not include Facebook and Twitter likes. Now, there are a little under 400 of you graduating today. If each one of you changed the lives of 10 people and those 10 people change the lives of 10 more people, and so on. Just imagine over the course of 5 or 6 generations how many millions of lives would be changed by the class of 2017. Never underestimate the influence one person can have in the lives of others. You have talents and skills that have been nurtured here, and you are now ready to continue to develop them and share them with more of the world. I hope that you have discovered the powerful flow of energy that comes from being immersed in a diversity of cultures, ideas, and social experiences that bring about respect for differences and lead to unity. It is not always easy for others to see. We are all connected when we care about each other and work together to make the world a better place for all. I offer my final reflection using the tradition of the Chinese trio of blessings, prosperity, and longevity. May you and your families experience the blessings of joy and gratitude this graduation brings. May the diploma you receive bring good fortune and prosperity always, and may you make a positive difference and change the world through a long and happy life. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mooney. It is now my pleasure, Dr. Mooney, to present to you the class of 2017.
I accept, Dr. Pernick.
Catherine Egan. Lily Avasis. Chelsea Staten. Ivy Denham. Gianna DeLeonardis. Casey Sabruski. Adriana Alves. Rachel Rosen. Michael John Hartman. Brian Crawley. Timothy Castillo. Justin Lieblin. Jordan Schaefer. Zachary Hunter Hirsch. Adam Lyman. Ben Flock. Adam Freed. Matthias Mullen. Spencer Goody.
Tristan Duarte. Michael Esposito. Jake Block. Robbie Connors. Jagger Alagna. Matthew Schwartz. Max Egna. Austin Egna. Jordy Greenblatt. Matthew Deeber. Joe Mano. Crew Weingard. Jacob Kapor. Mitchell Scott Mavora. Justin Massey. Alec Orso. Adam Keltz. Andrew Gottfried. Michael Nahas. Ryan Perlman.
All right, wait, Joe. Reese Jackson. Emily LaRosa. Juliana Malatino. Jack Lefkowitz. Anthony DeMeo. Lauren Esposito. Amanda Epp. Russell Kindler. Nicole Takahashi. Marina Zangri. Sophie Germain. Sophie Edelman. Callie Kress. Samantha Asaro. Athena Johnson. Elizabeth Whitcow. Danielle Elkins. Emma Lupoli. Jessica Rosen.
Brittany Taylor. Colleen O'Donnell. Gina Golden. Victoria Pitard. Anna Watson. Sophie Lampel. Lily Welsh. Anna Cohen. Sarah D. Marino. Samina Negrani. Catherine Melkonian. Molly Featherstone. Imani Imberman. Natalie Bashner. Amanda Glassman. Julia Dolan. Emma First. Madeline Connors.
Lauren Rosen. Christina McCann. Sophia Scheibler. Caitlin Morris. Alexa Formisano. Nicole Nappi. Aspasia Sampis. Elizabeth Rodell. Margaret Bridges. Vadim Lakal. Allison Van Cutt. Emma Mills. Christian Hill. Ryan Towell. Farah Ross. Cameron Abate. Julia Price. Daniela Carrillo. Kira Lowe. Allison Sarzosa.
Brian Novoa. Beatriz Chavarria. Shaima Santis. Isabella Skoda. Anye Williams. Cheyenne Brown. Ghana Amin. Salma Amin. Sol Portilla. Amanda Symes. Stephanie Vargas. Alexa Quinteros. Jasmine Reyes. Carla Panamino. Caitlin Davis. Katie Alvarez. Alexandra Nicholson. Alex Odato.
Claudia Hanover. Madeline Lavin. Olivia Gellis. Ilana Grabiner. Maddie Lane. Logan Katz. Lauren Seidman. Samantha D'Alonzo. Amelia Charno. Catherine Spinelli. Naomi Sajnani. Amanda Wong. Zoe Garman. Dana Nissan. Emily Epstein. Rudy Malcolm. Maria Kogan. Amelia Zay. Ilana Hill.
Kevin Romero Rivas. Giovanni Montoyo Sandoval. Olvin Velasquez Figueroa. Christina Sanchez. Astrid Chinchilla. Alex Hainaluk. Sam Litvak. Brian Gutierrez. Ronaldo Ayala. Angel Villamizar Fuentes. Kevin Diaz. Michael Rivas. Christian Estrada Medina. Jawan Curtis. Marcelo Montes Reyes. Steven Zamora. Jose Ramirez. Justin Maravilla.
Sarah Goldman. Carly Perlmutter. Katie Oppenheim. Miranda Tannenbaum. Remy Mankis. Ariel Ziv. Elise Morales. Lauren Ambos. Melissa Signorini. Tommy Carrillo. Matthew Marks. Daniel Gersh. Dexter Jarrick. Ryan Tanzel. Noah Erin. Hassan Hassanian. Sean Lee. Zach Blicksilver.
David Chain. Zachary Miller. Justin Mayers. Jonah Woolmark. Jacob Marshall. Dante Bombardier. Diane Wordath. Katrina Wasserman. Leonie Lerner. Hannah Erickson. Ernesto Lisama. Emily Balbion. Alexandra Gutierrez. Diana Portillo. Milady Davila. Miriam Benitez. Yorlani Bonilla. Rocio Fernandez. Evis Castillo.
Michaela Walsh. Erin Lee McCabe. Haley Belomo. Cleopatra Mirianthopoulos. Jacob Malcolm. Stephanie Bentz. Ruth Benitez. Jennifer Byrne. Brianna Belomo. Julia Burgos. Mallory Winnick. Morgan Serker. Carly Kaufman. Rachel Riesman. Jessica Highland. Thomas Golder. Hello. Jack Golder.
Kristen Daly. Lidor Confino. Thomas LaBay. Andrew Falzone. Stefan Appel. Richard Dezelowitz. Robert Rosso. Dylan Shane. Julia Hayden. Kelsey Weisbird. Ellie Bain. Sally Hecht. Hannah Bellman. Brandon Gatta. Stanley Alize. Connor McPhail. Sean Sigmund. George Caslow.
Hakan Alkan. Alexander Kirushov. John Green. Alexander Candido. Logan Racy. Danny Galvez. Christopher Segara.
Guys, where are you going? Please sit down.
Timothy Serignis. Sabrina Larson. Carly Feldman. Dahlia Bernstein. William Trepp. Ryan Kennedy. Leonard Kumwang. Ethan Grauer. Christopher Hernandez. Christopher Pietrantonio. Christopher Marr.
Anthony Aiello. Michael Masuli. Sebastian Avila Reyes. Zachary Bohm. Hunter Forlenza. Connor Hertzwig. Juan Francisco Soto. Christian Chu. Marlon Crespo. Kevin Dans. Charlie Lynch. Daniel Amoruso. Alec Marshak. Hodaka Kuwagachi. Elida Karababa. Diana Brennan. Jenna Worms. Lauren Goldstein.
Dennis Nakazawa. Owen Mitchell. Christopher Thompson. Henry Burns. David Ferguson. Connor Silverstein. Alex Nam. Sydney Huffman. Megan Burke. Nicole Manasari. Jeffrey Lockham. Allison Winter. Sophia Andriadis. Sydney Silverman. Jennifer Portillo. Megan Oldak. Jay Pyrols. Ian Coes.
Matt Sanchez. Elvin Alfaro. Alejandro Kim. Eduardo Vides. Lovey DeLeo. Ryan Wu. Jonathan Calderon. Andrew Vega. Daniel Vatesman. Amir Hussein Marashi. Michael Spinazzi. Aldo Soto. William Longmire. Danny Hassan. David Kaminsky. Jonathan Yin. Michael Sin. Andrew Liu. Maxim Korniev.
Matthew Cam. Colin Schroeder. Jonathan Lynn. Kyle Harding. Jeremy Etlinger. Subin Seo. Aoi Egawa. Inji Choi. Sarah Lee. Jade Chang. Yao Zhang. Teng Lei Wu. Jason Zhou. Dylan Lebedin. Don't walk till I say your name. Eli Lefkowitz. David Han. Dylan Langone. Aaron Gindi. Zachary Iqbal.
Michael Mannix. Christian Altamirano. Kento Hakai. George Zerzan. John Zerzan. Brandon Reyes. Javier Gonzalez. Rena Zeng. Emily Dillon. Deborah Barone. Victoria Meyer. Allison Kin. Olivia Gowell. Danica Brown. Christiane Beck. Zanub Buta. Shannon James. Kerry James.
Matthew Wilson. Eric Stern. Liam Carlton. Adam Mizrahi. Xavier Merriweather. Ben Winkselbaum. Evan Goldstein. Kanji Katayama. Daniel Hamroff. Ava Tampkin. Gianluca Fenton. Matthew Colin. Jeremy Caller. Evan Johns. Jonathan Kobrinski. Stephanie Sarmiento. Joseph Berezueta.
Nicholas Demi. David Plutero. Jiro Duffy. Emily Lopez. Gwendolyn Sarapata. Jamie Alvarez. Delani Morley. Brendan Avesis. Brendan McCormack. Alex Wang. Matthew Chung. Anastasio Narag. Brian Vasquez. John Lasso. Luis Menjivar. Luis Cruz. Karina Katu. Daniel Young.
Jordan Hurt. John Finkbeiner. Alex Divas. Eli Feldman. Rory Owens. Aaron Sifshur. Ethan Kennelly. Joey Clateman. Joseph Levine. Yuval Phillipson. Got it. Adam Satovsky. Robert Konoff. Michael Nachman. Zachary Yeet Shore. Mitchell Levine. Jordan Lerner.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the class of 2017. Dr. Mooney, if you'd be kind enough to join me at the podium. I'd like to ask the class of 2017 to please rise. We have one small thing. Please move your tassels from your right to your left. Dr. Mooney, they're all yours.
Thank you. Okay. By the powers vested in me by the state of New York and the New York State Education Department, as superintendent of schools, I officially declare you to be graduates of the Port Washington School District.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Congratulations to all.